I have a lot of people in my life with a weird relationship to animals. Okay, it's me. Like, when I was hypnotized at age 12, this really happened, I said my best friend was a cat. I also maybe led a dog to orgasm when I was 10. I was petting his belly, I didn't know what I was doing, and then there was a spray. Anyway, this is not a story about me, or a story just about me. This is a story about Sonia. When I was at the lowest point in my life, I worked in a magazine called, unironically, Lucky. It was the fall of 2006, and my boyfriend of 9 years had moved 3 states away to take a dream job. And so I moved out of our shared apartment into this tiny cubbyhole of a room at my brother's, and I had gained 40 pounds, that's 20 kilos, on an antidepressant that wasn't working, and I was broke. So every day I went to this magazine, Lucky, whose big innovation was having no actual articles. Like, they just had puff pieces like 5 jeans you can't live without, and 603 flirty looks for fall, and Gwyneth Paltrow has new pajamas, check them out. And my job was to be a fact checker. That is, I was supposed to check if the products we featured were at the prices we listed and at the places we said. And though it was a pretty lowly job, I was somehow seated in the large office of my boss's boss, this senior editor named Sonia. Sonia was gorgeous. Sonia was willowy. Sonia was glamorous. Sonia wore scars creatively. But Sonia, like me, seemed very sad. And we didn't talk much at first because I had my own drama. But one day she came in and her face was all puffy and she was just sighing like, so I said, Sonia, are you okay? And she said, yeah, except I was up all night communicating with this whale and he would not let me sleep. And I said, oh, and she said, yeah, I'm an empath. So I said, how did you meet this whale? And she said, well, he reached out to me and it used to be like once a month, but now it's every other night and I really need to set boundaries. And I said, boundaries are really important. So obviously now I loved Sonia, though I was never 100% clear whether she was kidding or not. But in the weeks that followed, I heard a lot about the whale, who, by the way, I heard she reached out to him first and not the other way around. She saw him in a nature documentary. But there were also monkeys, there were dogs. There were a lot of dogs she actually met. And one weird one, weirder one, was she came in and she was like, so I think I used to be a bird in a previous life. And I just found out the flock is not doing well. And I said, oh, I believe in reincarnation, like, maybe. And she said, oh, thank God, I was worried you'd think I was crazy. Tell me about your previous lives. And I said, I don't really know, but I kind of want to be a Jaguar, but I worry that's a little aspirational. And she said, no, I can totally see you as a Jaguar. My other job at Lucky, besides being a fact checker, was to write people back who sent me emails like, Dear Lucky, I tried to get the sweater you said was an anthropologie, but they told me it was discontinued, and it is the one thing I needed in your fucking magazine. Fuck you, Lucky. That was a real email. I printed it out. At first, I would send back really concerned, apologetic emails and try and tell people where they could find stuff. But eventually, I would just be like, Dear subscriber, the world is burning and you're gonna die. And you're gonna survive without the sweater. Sincerely, David. At night, I would talk to my boyfriend on the phone and I felt the separation, but also I felt numb. I blamed it on my antidepressant, so I went off cold turkey and I stopped eating. I would go out to drink and I'd stay till late. I would come back drunk and on the subway platform I would look at the rats playing and I would desperately try and communicate with them. I feel really close to rats, I don't know why. Supposedly they like to fall asleep in piles and I don't know, I just get it. before I am, and I would try and psychically communicate with my boyfriend, but my brain couldn't get past those four walls of the tiny room. So I imagined swimming with whales in the deep, dark void. My downfall at Lucky began with a guy I will call the Obon Pan guy. So one day Sonia came in and she was like, "Can I tell you something secret, David?" And I was like, "Of course." And she said, "I have a boyfriend in Obon Pan, but it is getting in the way of my marriage." And I said, "Oh my God, that sounds really serious." And she said, "Yeah." And I don't know why, that just made me open up. I started talking to her about my boyfriend, about the separation, about moving in with my brother. I told her I had gone off my antidepressants to lose weight, but now I was crying all the time. And she said, "Yeah, but losing weight's really important." I said, "Tell me about the Obon Pan guy." And she said, "Well, he's the cashier at the Obon Pan where I get lunch every day." And I said, "Okay." And she said, "And now he's visiting me psychically every night when I'm in bed with my husband, and it is really not appropriate." And she started to get tears in her eyes. And I don't know, maybe because I just opened up to her, but I snapped. I just said, "Sonia, you need to pull it together. You need to set some boundaries with that whale. And you need to take ownership of how you are consenting to the visits of the Obon Pan boy late at night, and also you are just fantasizing about the Obon Pan boy and the whale because you are not psychic." And she said, "Excuse me?" And I said, "Sonia, come on, you are a grown lady." That night my temp agency called and told me Lucky would not be needing me anymore. It seems I was too good a fact checker. I did see Sonia one more time when I came in to take my stuff. I came in and she hugged me and she said, "David, I have something important I want to tell you. I've been doing some research and you need to taper your antidepressants slowly. And you really should call your boyfriend more and try and work this out. And I think if you want to be a Jaguar in a future life, you really can do it." And I said, "Sonia, in my next life, I will be a Jaguar." And she said, "That's the spirit." And I said, "And in the life after that, I will again be a Jaguar." And she said, "Yes." And I said, "And in the life after that, I think I will be a butterfly as like a 30-day palate cleanser, but like fingers crossed, then Jaguar." Now she didn't know whether I was kidding with her. My boyfriend eventually moved home and we got married, and I found the right dose of the antidepressants. I think back of that chapter in my life, and it seems like another lifetime, as I imagine this chapter will seem someday, and on into all my future lifetimes, which will be, for the record, and I wasn't kidding, Sonia, Jaguar, Jaguar, butterfly, Jaguar. Thank you.